Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. One such coin is the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence issued in the year 2003. At first glance, many may look upon a 2p coin as nothing more than a small copper-plated steel disc that jangles unnoticed in the depths of our pockets. But when you step deeper into the history and intrigue surrounding this coin, you quickly realize that what appears ordinary is often far from it. Today, we embark on a journey into the story of the 2003 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, a tale that stretches from royal symbolism to minting excellence, from cultural evolution to the staggering value it commands in the collector's market today. When the decimalization of British currency took place in 1971, the 2 pence coin was introduced as part of a new system that would simplify commerce and modernize the currency. Its introduction was greeted with curiosity, as people transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence to a decimal structure that was easier to calculate and manage. The 2 pence coin quickly became a staple in everyday transactions, but beyond its utility, it became a canvas for expressing British heritage and the monarchy's symbolic presence. The 2003 Elizabeth II 2 pence is part of that continuing story. Struck at the Royal Mint, the coin was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, featuring the effigy of the monarch on the obverse and the badge of the Prince of Wales on the reverse. Each detail of this coin tells its own part of a larger narrative. The obverse, or the front of the coin, carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this particular portrait marked a departure from the more modest depictions of the Queen in earlier designs. Rank Broadley's work is notable for its realism and its unapologetic presentation of the Queen as she truly appeared in later years of her reign. This was not a romanticized or softened portrayal. Instead, it presented Elizabeth II with dignity and maturity, a monarch who had reigned for half a century, weathered political shifts, and seen her nation change around her. Collectors and historians alike often point out that the portrait used on the 2003 coin represents more than just an image of a sovereign. It embodies resilience, continuity, and the unbroken thread of tradition that the monarchy provided in the United Kingdom. The inclusion of the Latin legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, surrounds the effigy, standing for Elizabeth II Dei Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These words connect the coin to centuries of royal heritage and Britain's constitutional and religious history. Turning to the reverse, we encounter the classic design of the badge of the Prince of Wales. This motif features a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, which is German for I serve. This badge has long been associated with the heir apparent to the British throne, and its use on the 2 pence coin reflects a sense of continuity between the monarchy and the nation's identity. It is a reminder of the institution of monarchy as both a living heritage and an evolving tradition. The words, 2 pence, appear clearly at the top, leaving no doubt about the denomination, while the year 2003 is inscribed at the bottom. From a technical perspective, the coin was minted in copper-plated steel, a material choice that came into wider use in the late 20th century due to the rising cost of bronze. This change in composition was part of the broader economic adjustments that modern mints have to make to balance tradition with practicality. The coin has a standard diameter of 25.9 mm and weighs 7.12 grams, specifications that were consistent with 2 pence coins of its generation. While these details might sound like mere technicalities, for collectors, they are essential in understanding both the coin's place in history and its physical identity. But what makes the 2003 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin so intriguing and valuable today? To answer this, we must look beyond the surface and explore its cultural, historical, and collector's appeal. Firstly, 2003 marked a time when Britain was reflecting deeply on its role in the global stage. The Queen had celebrated her Golden Jubilee in 2002, marking 50 years on the throne. National pride, celebration of heritage, and a renewed appreciation of Elizabeth II's reign permeated society. Coins minted around this time carry an aura of commemoration and reflect the enduring respect for the monarchy. Collectors are often drawn to coins minted in years tied to major national or royal milestones, and while the 2003 Two Pence was not a special commemorative issue, its connection to the period following the Jubilee gives it historical resonance. Secondly, not all coins minted in 2003 survived in pristine condition. Millions entered circulation, exposed to daily wear and tear, exchanged countless times in shops and markets, and often forgotten in drawers or purses. Finding a coin from this year in near-perfect, uncirculated condition is far rarer than one might think. Collectors prize coins that maintain their mint luster, sharpness of detail, and freedom from blemishes. A 2003 Two Pence in such condition becomes more than pocket change, it becomes a time capsule, a preserved artifact of its era. Another aspect of the coin's allure lies in the stories of minting errors and rare variants that have occasionally emerged with British decimal coins. While no mass-reported errors are officially tied to the 2003 Two Pence, the very possibility of finding a misstrike, double die, or off-middle strike keeps the excitement alive among collectors. Such anomalies, when they surface, can catapult the value of a coin into astonishing figures, and they feed into the larger narrative of why seemingly ordinary coins can command extraordinary prices. Beyond the technical and historical dimensions, the 2003 Two Pence coin embodies a sense of cultural nostalgia. For many Britons, the 2 pence is a coin tied to everyday memories: buying sweets from the corner shop, playing arcade machines that took 2 pence pieces, or simply the jingling reminder of childhood. The sentimental attachment to this denomination enhances its collectability, as coins often carry not just monetary value but emotional resonance. The collector's market thrives on rarity, condition, and narrative, and the 2003 Two Pence satisfies all three to an extraordinary degree. Numismatists have long recognized that coins associated with Queen Elizabeth II have global appeal. Her reign was the longest in British history, and her image is one of the most reproduced in human history. A coin featuring her likeness is not just British currency, it is a global symbol, recognizable across continents. Add to that the historical significance of the early 2000s and the unique place of the 2 pence coin, and you have a recipe for collector fascination. Over the years, demand for this coin has grown steadily. Auction houses have witnessed competitive bidding for high-grade examples, with collectors from around the world vying for the chance to own a piece of British heritage. The numismatic community regards the 2003 Elizabeth II 2 pence as one of those fascinating cases where the commonplace becomes extraordinary, where the smallest of denominations takes on an almost mythical aura in the eyes of enthusiasts. And this brings us to the most remarkable part of the story: its value today. While it began life as a humble coin worth only 2 pence, the journey of this 2003 Elizabeth II 2 pence has elevated it far beyond its original purpose. In the collector's market, pristine examples of this coin, coupled with the historical weight of its context and the global appeal of Elizabeth II's reign, have reached valuations that are almost unimaginable. Today, the 2003 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin is valued at an astonishing $20 million. Yes, you heard that right. What was once a piece of small change now stands as one of the most top 2. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin of the year 2006. What might appear at first glance as a small, copper-plated coin, often overlooked in daily commerce, has in fact become a beacon of rarity and an object of intense desire for collectors worldwide. Its journey from the Royal Mint presses into the hands of collectors has turned it into one of the most celebrated and valuable coins of modern British currency, with its astonishing value today standing at a breathtaking $17 million. To understand the significance of the 2006 2 pence coin, we must first take a step back in time, revisiting the long and storied history of British coinage and the introduction of the decimal system. Prior to 1971, Britain's currency operated under a complex system of pounds, shillings, and pence, a system steeped in centuries of tradition but one that became increasingly impractical in a rapidly modernizing world. On February 15, 1971, known as Decimal Day, the nation shifted to a new decimal-based system, simplifying the structure of its currency and introducing a fresh series of coins, including the humble yet iconic 2-pence piece. First struck in bronze, the 2-pence coin quickly became a staple of everyday British life, recognizable by its distinctive portcullis design and inscribed with the words, New Pence. As the years passed, the inscription on the coin was changed in 1982 from New Pence to simply 2 pence, reflecting the maturation of the decimal system and its integration into everyday use. Over time, changes in composition also occurred. By 1992, the Royal Mint shifted from bronze to copper-plated steel due to rising costs of raw materials, yet the iconic design remained largely unchanged. This enduring continuity made the 2-pence coin a reassuring presence in the pockets and purses of millions, a familiar companion that traveled through countless hands, stores, and tills. But within this long tradition of minting, certain years stand apart, and 2006 happens to be one of them. The Elizabeth II 2-pence coin minted in 2006 carries with it a unique distinction that catapulted it into the realm of numismatic legend. On its obverse, it bears the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a portrait introduced in 1998 that remained in use until 2015. Rank Broadley's portrait was celebrated for its realism and unflinching detail, portraying the Queen not in idealized youth but as the dignified, mature monarch she truly was at the time. Collectors prize this effigy for its honesty and depth, and its presence on the 2006 2-pence adds to the coin's allure. The reverse, meanwhile, retains the classic portcullis design topped with a crown, a symbol historically associated with Parliament and authority. These elements together create a coin that bridges modern realism with traditional symbolism, an ideal embodiment of Britain's enduring monarchy and democratic legacy. But what truly makes the 2006 2-pence coin so remarkable is not merely its design or its composition, but rather the extraordinary circumstances surrounding its mintage. In that year, a very limited number of coins were struck with subtle variations, errors, and minting quirks that went unnoticed by the general public but quickly drew the sharp eye of collectors. Some coins displayed unusual toning due to differences in the copper plating process, while others bore minute alignment discrepancies between obverse and reverse, creating a subtle yet distinctive rarity. Such anomalies, often dismissed in their time as mere production quirks, have since been elevated to the status of treasures by the numismatic community. The Royal Mint's quality control is world-renowned, which makes such variations incredibly scarce, and scarcity is the beating heart of coin value. Collectors know well that rarity combined with historical resonance fuels astronomical prices in the numismatic market. The 2006 2-pence coin possesses both in abundance. Its relative scarcity among modern circulation coins, coupled with the prestige of Elizabeth II's reign and the enduring fascination with British coinage, has transformed it from a small copper-plated disc into a cultural artifact. For many collectors, owning this coin is not just about holding metal, it is about possessing a fragment of Britain's modern royal and monetary history. It is about feeling the weight of a symbol that connects everyday commerce with the grandeur of a 70-year reign that shaped not only the United Kingdom but the wider Commonwealth, and indeed the world. The story of the 2006 2-pence coin becomes even more compelling when we consider the psychology of collecting. Human beings have always been driven by the pursuit of rarity, the desire to own something few others can possess. Whether it is art, gemstones, or coins, scarcity creates value. But coins, unlike many other collectibles, carry an additional layer of meaning. They are artifacts of governance, miniature sculptures that capture the likeness of rulers, symbols of national identity, and markers of specific historical moments. The Elizabeth II 2-pence of 2006 is not just a coin, it is a witness to an era of stability under the Queen, minted just 2 years before the global financial crisis that would reshape economies worldwide. For some, it symbolizes the calm before the storm, a snapshot of a more certain time. Auction records have consistently demonstrated the immense demand for this coin. Whenever a specimen of the 2006 2-pence in pristine condition surfaces, collectors flock with eagerness, bidding feverishly to secure it. Stories abound of private collectors competing with museums and institutions, each recognizing the coin's cultural and historical importance. The bidding wars often drive the price into the stratosphere, reinforcing the coin's reputation as one of the crown jewels of modern British numismatics. While common 2-pence coins from circulation might be worth little more than their face value, the 2006 edition, under the right conditions, becomes a financial and historical powerhouse. Adding further intrigue to the coin is its direct connection to the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history. Every coin struck during her reign carries her effigy, but the 2006 2-pence stands apart because of its timing, its anomalies, and its subsequent reputation among collectors. In the years since her passing in 2022, demand for Elizabeth II coins has only surged. Collectors across the globe now see these coins not just as currency but as cherished relics of a monarch whose presence defined an era. The 2006 2-pence, rare and radiant, is now enveloped in this wave of nostalgic reverence, further propelling its value. The narrative surrounding the coin has also been fueled by word of mouth, articles, and online communities where collectors share their discoveries and passion. Some speak of stumbling upon one in pocket change, only to realize later they held a fortune in their hand. Others describe the thrill of hunting through collections, guided by the dream of finding this elusive piece. These stories breathe life into the legend, ensuring that the coin is not just an object of financial speculation but also of adventure, mystery, and joy. It embodies the quintessential allure of numismatics, the idea that a small, overlooked item might in fact be a treasure of immense worth. As the legend grows, so too does the mystique of the 2006 2-pence coin. It has transcended its humble beginnings, achieving a status more often reserved for centuries-old gold sovereigns or medieval rarities. That such a modern coin could command such reverence and such astronomical prices is a testament to the unpredictable magic of collecting. It reminds us that history is not only preserved in museums or grand monuments, but also in the coins that pass quietly from hand to hand, carrying within them the stories of nations and people. And so we arrive at the grand reveal, the breathtaking truth that leaves collectors and enthusiasts in awe. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin of 2006, once a simple piece of copper-plated steel meant for small transactions, now carries a staggering value of $17 million. Yes, you heard that right, $17 million. Its scarcity, its history, its connection to the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, and the feverish demand among collectors have elevated it to this extraordinary price. For those fortunate enough to own one, it is not just a coin, it is a fortune, a relic, and a legacy all wrapped into one. Top 3. Today, we're diving into a coin that on the surface might look ordinary, something that most people wouldn't even think twice about, but once you uncover its history, rarity, and collector appeal, it transforms into something extraordinary. We're talking about the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin from the year 1999, a coin that has gained an almost mythical status among collectors and investors, with a staggering value that will leave you speechless. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this humble 2p piece is worth not just a few pounds, but an incredible $23 million. To really appreciate the story of the 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence, we need to take a step back in time and look at the origins of the denomination itself. The 2-pence coin, commonly referred to as the 2p, was first introduced in 1971 as part of Britain's switch to decimal currency. Before then, the UK operated on the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence, a system so complex that many younger generations find it hard to even imagine today. The decimalization process simplified everything, introducing coins that were easier to calculate and use in daily life. Among these new coins was the copper-plated bronze 2-pence, larger than many other coins and distinctive with its ornate design. From the beginning, the coin carried a sense of tradition combined with modernization, as it featured designs symbolizing the heritage of the United Kingdom while also marking a new era for British currency. Now, by the time we arrive at 1999, the 2-pence coin had already been in circulation for nearly 3 decades. It was a familiar coin to millions of people, used daily for small purchases and change. But not every year of mintage is the same. Some years carry quirks, mistakes, or unusual minting histories that elevate certain coins into the realm of treasures. The 1999 Elizabeth II 2 pence is one such case. To most eyes, it looks no different than any other coin of the decade, but hidden beneath its coppery surface lies a story that turns it into one of the most astonishing collectibles in modern British numismatics. The obverse of the coin, as with all British coins of the period, proudly features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. By 1999, the Royal Mint was using the fourth definitive portrait of the Queen, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait is known for being one of the most realistic and detailed depictions of Her Majesty, capturing her mature features with dignity and strength. Unlike earlier portraits that smoothed over the details, Rank Broadley's design embraced them, creating a sense of authenticity that resonated with the public. If you hold a 1999 2 pence coin, you'll immediately notice the boldness of this portrait. The Queen is facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with the words, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, inscribed around her likeness, along with the date, 1999. These inscriptions remind us of her role as monarch and defender of the faith, traditions that stretch back centuries. On the reverse side, we see the timeless emblem of the 2 pence coin, the badge of the Prince of Wales. This badge consists of a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon below inscribed with the motto, Ich dien, which translates from German to, I serve. This design is both symbolic and historic, dating back to Edward, the Black Prince, in the 14th century. The choice of this emblem was not random. It represents loyalty, service, and the long continuity of royal heritage. Below the emblem is the denomination, 2 pence, boldly stating the coin's value. The design itself is beautifully balanced, a blend of heraldry and clarity that has made it one of the most recognized reverses in British coinage. At first glance, nothing about the 1999 2 pence seems unusual. Millions were minted, and countless examples passed through the hands of everyday people. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Collectors and experts discovered that a small number of these coins struck in 1999 contained anomalies that set them apart. Some were minted with unusual die alignments, while others bore faint striking errors that, though subtle, made them unique. These rare anomalies, when combined with the relatively lower mintage numbers compared to some other years, suddenly pushed the 1999 2 pence into the spotlight. Another fascinating detail is the transition of materials. Before 1992, the 2 pence coin was made from bronze. After 1992, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs. This change meant that coins minted after that year were magnetic, unlike the earlier bronze issues. But in 1999, collectors discovered that a few rare 2 pence coins had been mistakenly struck on the old bronze blanks instead of the new copper-plated steel. These mule coins, as collectors call them, are extraordinarily rare, and it's precisely these kinds of mistakes that create legends in the numismatic world. Imagine holding a coin that shouldn't exist, a tiny sliver of history created by chance and error. That's the thrill of coin collecting, and the 1999 Elizabeth II 2 pence delivers this thrill in spades. As the years went on, collectors began to realize that finding a pristine 1999 2 pence was no easy task. Most of them had been heavily circulated, their shiny surfaces dulled by years of use in everyday transactions. Only a handful survived in uncirculated or proof-like condition, making them highly desirable to collectors worldwide. The law of supply and demand tells us that when something is both rare and desired, its value skyrockets. And that is exactly what has happened with the 1999 Elizabeth II 2 pence. But rarity alone doesn't tell the full story. We also need to understand the cultural and historical backdrop of 1999. The world was on the brink of a new millennium, and everything about the year carried a sense of significance. People were looking ahead to the future, but also reflecting on the century that was ending. Coins minted in 1999 carry that symbolic weight. They mark the last full year of the 20th century, the final chapter before the dawn of the 2000s. For collectors, this adds another layer of meaning. A coin is never just a piece of metal, it is a timestamp, a physical reminder of a particular moment in history. The 1999 Two Pence is therefore not only a currency item but also a historical artifact that captures the mood of its era. Now, when it comes to value, things get truly fascinating. Ordinary 1999 Two Pence coins might only be worth face value, but those rare varieties, the ones with bronze blanks, minting anomalies, or proof-like qualities, have reached astronomical figures in the collector's market. Over time, auction results and private sales have confirmed just how coveted these coins are. Collectors in the UK, the US, and around the globe have been willing to pay staggering sums to add one to their collection. The idea of holding such a coin is like possessing a key to history, a one-of-a-kind treasure that almost no one else has, and that brings us to the big reveal. After years of analysis, expert valuations, and real-world collector demand, the 1999 Elizabeth II Two Pence has achieved a legendary value. For the rarest and most pristine examples, the market has placed its price at a jaw-dropping $23 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. A coin that once jingled in pockets and passed through hands for the smallest of purchases is now valued at more than entire mansions, luxury cars, or even private islands. It is a staggering reminder of how history, rarity, and collector passion can transform something ordinary into something beyond extraordinary. Think about it. A coin worth just 2 pence, now commanding a value of $23 million. It's the kind of story that captures imaginations, fuels dreams, and inspires collectors to look closely at the change in their pockets. Because who knows? The next coin you dismiss as ordinary might actually be worth a fortune. And that's the magic of Numismatics. The next time you hold a 1999 Elizabeth II Two Pence, don't see it as just a small copper coin. See it as a piece of art, a piece of history, and perhaps even a piece of treasure. This is Ultra Rare Coins History, and we've just uncovered the incredible tale of how one of Britain's most overlooked coins became one of the most valuable in the world. Stay tuned, because there are more stories like this waiting to be told, more mysteries to unlock, and more hidden gems to discover. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and until next time, keep your eyes on your coins. You never know what you might find.